Hey guys, it's Ernesto and welcome back to yet another video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm having a wonderful day. So today I'm going to walk you guys through a recent photo shoot that I did. I'm going to tell you how I planned for it, how I executed it, and how I made small adjustments to improve one image over another. So stay tuned. I'm going to get straight into it. All right guys, so now let's start with the very first thing, which is planning. Planning for me on any given photo shoot is very critical. I like to have some type of an idea of what I'm trying to create before I actually go out and create it. Now I don't have every little step planned out, but I just have like the basics, which is basically what type of light that I want to use for this particular photo shoot, what type of wardrobe that I want to have for this particular photo shoot, and what type of mood am I trying to set with respect to the images that I'm trying to get out of this particular photo shoot. So as far as lighting, I knew I wanted harsh lighting in this particular photo shoot because I was planning on using a white background, and that was the goal. I wanted to use harsh lighting. The other thing I wanted to use was basically get some nice specific wardrobe for this particular photo shoot. I wanted a black wardrobe because I knew black against the white would create like nice black and white images. So that's basically the goal that I was going for. And as far as the mood, I just wanted something a little bit more timeless. So that's why I was going for more of like a black and white feel. So that was the goal. Now, when I actually got on the scene, it was basically very soft lighting. It wasn't harsh lighting like I planned, but I got, soft lighting. So I still went with it. At least I got, 2 out of 3. So that was the plan of execution. As far as the wardrobe is concerned, I acquired the wardrobe. My wife helped me to acquire the wardrobe from, her research and stuff like that. She got it for me. And then we got the piece of fabric, I believe, from Michael's. That's where we got the fabric from. It was pretty cheap to get the fabric. The wardrobe wasn't so cheap. But that was how I acquired everything, and that's how I planned for the shoot. That was the first thing. Now let's move on to the execution. Because without execution, having a plan is just that, a plan. And I could have a plan, you could have a plan, we could all have the same plan, but as far as carrying it out or executing it, we both could potentially execute it differently. So as far as the execution is concerned, when I went out for this particular photo shoot, obviously I had those 3 specific goals in mind. I wanted harsh light, I had a specific wardrobe in mind, and I know I want a specific mood. So those are the things that were in my head that I was trying to execute for. So when I went out there, like I mentioned before, the sun was not there. I wasn't getting that harsh light that I was looking for. So all I had was soft lighting. But the thing about soft lighting, just like with harsh lighting, there's always a direction that the sun, in this case, it's the sun, but that light is coming from, okay? There's always a direction that light is coming from. And all you have to do is basically find that direction of light. And the simplest way you could do that is just look at your model's face. One of the things you could tell it to do is just basically look to the left, look to the right, look up, and you could basically tell where the light is coming from. If you can't judge it by, holding up your hands or something like that, that's typically how I would do it as well. Just hold up my hands and look at the palm of my hands to see if the light quality on the palm of my hands is better than, putting it in another direction. So you could do those things just to judge the light quality and where it's coming from. So that was my first thing. And as far as the wardrobe is concerned, like I said, I knew what I was trying to go for with the wardrobe, and just making sure that the fabric, the piece of fabric that we got, I wanted to frame that into like a dress. I wanted also to frame the subject in a particular way. Now, certain parts of that execution didn't carry out the way I wanted to carry out, but as far as making it into like a dress and stuff, I think we kind of carried it off. Unless I had told you, or if I didn't tell you that this was a piece of fabric, you probably won't be able to tell that it was, a fabric and not a dress. And most people probably won't be able to do the same. So that was my goal. I was trying to take that little bit of fabric and create something that looked like a dress, and that was the goal. So now let's talk about making minute adjustments on your photo shoot that could basically help you take a simple image and make it into something better. I'm not gonna say great or the best image in the world, but it could definitely improve your image by making little slight minute adjustments. So when I'm working with a subject and is the first shot basically that we need to do, I get my subject to go into a very, very simplistic pose. And after they go into that simplistic pose, I try to get the expression, because that's the hardest part, trying to get an expression out of your subject. Putting people's limbs and body parts into various shapes and stuff like that, I find that part to be a little bit easier than trying to communicate an expression out of the subject. So I put them in a very simple pose because I know that's not my pose. I know that's not the shot that I want. I know that's not the pose I want. So I get them into that particular pose, just the standard pose, and have them there. And then I try to pull out that expression out of them. Once I see I get that expression, then I start to improve upon that pose and making small, minute adjustments. So I'm gonna show you two shots. One shot is basically, I'm almost there to where I'm, getting, the image I want. And I forgot there was one other thing on this particular photo shoot, which was a leaf blower. I brought a leaf blower on this particular photo shoot because I wanted to get that hair, just flying in the air. That's basically what I was trying to go for as well. So let's talk about making minute adjustments on this particular photo, well, two photos that you will see. And I'm gonna tell you how I made it go from something that was okay to something that's a little bit better. And again, not great, and not fantastic, but better than what it was from where it started, okay? In this image, basically, like I mentioned to you before, we have the piece of fabric, and I have her holding the fabric in a way that would allow it to give that illusion of a dress. Now, what's important about this pose as well is the hand that's holding the fabric. It's important that her elbow to be a little bit bent. Having the elbow straight won't necessarily work in this particular pose because it would just appear a little bit too stiff. So having her bend her elbow just a little bit adds that little bit of elegance to the shot. Now, the other thing that I did was basically with her left hand, which is camera right, her left hand, I had it holding the fabric because the fabric was around her waist. I had her holding the fabric so the fabric won't come apart, right? So she was just holding the fabric there at her waist, and her elbow, again, was a little bit bent as well. Now, if you notice that her left leg, which is camera right, her left leg is also bent towards the direction that she's looking in, which was also critical in this particular pose because remember I said, find the direction of light? That's where the direction of light was coming from. So I wanted her to be positioned towards the direction of light, okay? So those things were great. Her expression is what I wanted out of this image, something a little bit, strong, a little bit serious. That's what I was looking for in this particular pose. I didn't want anything like overly expressive. I wanted very simplistic, right? So I got that from the model. That's what I was looking for. And once I got that, this was an okay image the way it was, but the next image that I'm gonna show you made it much better than what it was. And that's one little thing that we changed in this particular shot, and that's basically turn on the leaf blower. And once we turn on that leaf blower, it made the hair appear to be very much so full of volume and very, very impressive to me as far as an image. All right, so moving on to two other images. Now, these two other images also illustrate, the fact about making minute adjustments and how that would help improve your images going from okay to better. Now, in this particular image, it wasn't really about the posing, it wasn't really about the expression of the model, it wasn't really about, where the light was coming from, although all those things were important and it did play a part ultimately in this particular image. But ultimately, what made this image go from okay to better is very, very simple, and that is the composition. So what I can say to you guys is basically, when you are on a photo shoot and you think you nailed it, you think you basically got like the best image, the best expression, the best pose, the best light and all that good stuff, my one suggestion would be just try a different composition. Try 1 or 2 different compositions. It doesn't really hurt because everything is still set up there. You could still just simply change your camera position to take a different composition. So in this for this particular image, I basically took a portrait shot of this model, and I loved it. I looked at the back of the camera. I loved it. I was really enjoying it. And I said, you know what? Let me just simply change my composition to landscape and let me see what I get, with that change. And immediately when I changed my composition and I took that shot, I was like, oh, okay, I like this shot much better than the last shot. So that simple, minute change helped to make this shot go from okay to better. Alright guys, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of this particular photo shoot. I hope it was helpful to you guys. I hope it inspires you. If it did, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up on this particular video. Put some comments down below, let me know what you think. Share this video with your friends and family. And guys, if you got this far in this video and you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Yeah.